This is Mick Gillette.
This is Jay Moore.
This is Greg Proops.
This is Gabby Reese.
This is Nate Boyer.
This is Hilliard Guest.
This is Nathan
This
East.
is Rob Bell.
This is J.R. Robinson.
This is Dan Stone.
This is Dr. Bob Greenberg.
Hey, this is John Leon Guerrero.
Hey, I'm Mark Valley.
Hey, and this is Pete A. Turner.
Hi, I'm Marissa.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Dave.
We're BullMoose, and you're listening to The Break It Down Show.
And now, The Break It Down Show with John Leon Guerrero, Mark Valley, and Pete A. Turner.
Fantastic. Yeah. This is a show produced by Brenna. Brenna, check on in and say hi.
Hello.
Brenna's out in Georgia doing a segment here. We've got BullMoose back for his second visit on the Break It Down show. John is out and about doing things, so Brenna's riding shotgun, co-hosting, and we are super stoked to learn what is the latest with BullMoose. I've been following on Facebook, seeing you guys have been gigging, and now you're in the studio recording an album. Let's talk a little bit about that.
We spent, we drove there on Friday. Saturday we started. Sunday we continued, and then we just drove back yesterday. We were at Dark Pines in North Carolina.
Graham, North Carolina.
Graham, North Carolina.
So for those that don't know, what else has been recorded at Dark Pines?
Well, I can tell you that they own a microphone that was used on the first two REM microphones. Let me try that again. I can tell you that they own a microphone that was used to record the first two REM albums.
And are you guys big REM fans?
I am. I don't know about the other
people. Mark.
I don't listen to him too much.
Shiny, happy people, you know.
Yeah. Okay. So, and do you guys like the B-52s?
Who doesn't like the B-52s?
They're fun. Yeah.
That's a crazy question.
That is a crazy question. Hey, so tell us about the album. First off, the last time we talked to you, you guys were working on trying to figure out gigging and schedules, and just expanding your reach. How has that gone in the past year plus?
We've kind of low key exploded, I would say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like we've had more shows in the past, I'd say 6 months than we had in the previous year. Like we've been Marietta to Atlanta, Statesboro, a bunch of shows here. We're going to be actually in a couple weeks going to Alabama to do
Jacksonville.
It's called the Sounds of Summer Music Festival at Camp Pink in Jacksonville, Alabama.
A lot of great bands. Be awesome.
Yeah, really. Sarah and the Safe Word as well. Oh,
Village Sticks as well. Bird Person as well. Lit.
And are these peer bands for you guys? I mean, when you go out and you're on the stage, do they know you? Are you guys starting to become part of the same big band family?
Got a lot of friends all around the state.
A lot of great musicians. A lot of fun to work with them.
Yeah, really. Like we, the past couple, we've just found a bunch of people that really have the same kind of work ethic. Just want to show up, play a bunch of music, hear everybody else play, and those are the kind of guys that we've really stuck around with, and we've kind of just stuck together, seeing as there's just not many people with that enthusiasm for it anymore.
We were talking about that with Max Deering, the owner of Dark Pines, where we recorded this weekend. Just the cool community they have up in North Carolina. This is kind of the support. People come out and support people's shows, and it's something you don't want. Augusta, we have that kind of, but
we're getting there.
It's definitely gonna take some work.
It was really good in the early 2000s, or at least this is what I was told, early mid 2000s, and then it just kind of dropped off, and it's just now kind of picking up.
Yeah.
It's not an easy scene to make it in.
What does it take to make it in that scene now?
You have to promote your ass off, and just
you gotta look really good. You gotta be extremely handsome.
Andrew's got that covered for this band, at least. It really Mar does most of the footwork on that. So you said, you're just really just promoting a moaf. And trying your hardest to at least get the people that are there to do something other than stand there with their hands in their pockets. If you can do
cut you off. No, now we have now we have a reason to make people clap at shows, the clapping in one of the songs on the record we just did. Yeah, I'll be all right, everybody, we need some crowd participation.
Have you doing a beat. All right, everybody. We're going to need some audience participation for this next song.
So which song is this that?
It's actually our title track for the album. It's called Peace, Love, and Apathy.
Okay.
It's kind of low-key, sort of fun punk song. And
very fun. Very fun. Yeah. I showed all my buddies last night.
Why is it fun?
It's... Oh, you want to take that one?
Well, I mean, you wrote it, so you have more to say than I do, but, like, it's honestly, like, so, like, Green Day-esque, like, just fun drumming, and, like, you can like, shake your ass to it, man. It's a good, fun tune, dude.
It's really simple. It's not anything too heavy. It's not anything, like, it's not something that takes a lot of anything to get into. It's just a fun song. It's really simple. That's sort of why we chose it. It had the catchiest name of all the songs.
Yeah. How does one come? I mean, that name is great. Peace, love, and apathy. That's fantastic. You got these divergent words in the title. How do you come up with that? What's the process?
Well, really, it was just like sort of the vibe that I've experienced. The song itself is about like my experience here in Augusta, and Peace and Love was like just the vibe I try to give off like with everything that I do, and apathy was just because at that point where I was like writing it, there was just no point in doing anything because it seemed like nothing mattered. So like you could just try as much as you wanted, nothing changed. So like why even care? And that's really the whole vibe of the album. It seems like no one really cares anymore, and that was just something that we wanted to sort of exploit for our own monetary gain, I guess.
Well, that's a legitimate reason to exploit things. I mean, heck, you're there partly to make money. Are you guys making money to just tour and be in a band, or is there still some time, moving hay around or doing some other kind of work?
Well, we paid for the album with money that we made exclusively from gigging, which was for me a big accomplishment because for one thing, I didn't have to pour my money into anything. Like none of us did, really, just to get there and like eat food, but it was hard-earned money that we made together.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that's a big mark of success. And then moving on to the next level, you get the album out. Hopefully, you'll be able to sell it. Do you have labels looking at you guys at all?
Actually, about that,
all of them.
Yeah, a lot of
every single
labels, and then there's one starting up here in Augusta called Soul Rickards of Augusta. That's just starting up, and I think they're counting on us being like their flagship band right now.
So you're going to be their flagship, and they're an indie label, but they're an emerging indie label. Is that correct?
Dave, you probably have a little more information on this than I do.
Yeah, we were actually really fortunate to be close friends with one of the people that's actually the vice president of it. They're just guys.
Dang, man, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, they're called Soul Rickards of Augusta. Like they're trying to find more artists. Like there are several artists here in Augusta that they've already got their eyes on. And he's the main guy, Jason Parrish, has had like his foot in the door with the music industry for a very long time. He's just like, hey man, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this for real. And luckily we were the first band that he chose to go forward with. So hopefully like once this album is finished, like we'll be able to put it out more widely than just at our shows.
So the other day we had Dexter Holland from The Offspring on the show.
What?
And we were asking, that's right, you guys are big time.
Dude, that is badass.
Yeah, well, and so here's the question I asked him, and I wanted to get your thoughts, and I'm going to ask Marissa specifically, but I want you guys to chip in once she answers. One of the things I asked him is it seems like emerging bands, young bands, you put a lot of vigor. I mean, you guys, you're promoting your ass off. You're doing all these things. And a lot of times the songs that really hit, that really establish a band happen very early in their career. I mean, some bands go on to put songs out throughout their career that really continue to move an audience. But like when you talk about the Stones, it's the early Stones that really, got it right. It's, Nirvana didn't last very long, but the earlier Nirvana stuff was the stuff that really worked well. Mm-hmm. Guns N' Roses, all these bands, when they were 18, 19, 20 years old, they wrote the songs that were the most raw. The 40-year-old version of Axl Rose writes much better songs. But the songs that work are the songs that you guys are writing right now as a norm. One, do you feel like these songs are going to speak for you guys when you're 40 years old and on the road and playing? Or two, do you guys feel like your craft is still emerging and you haven't maybe even gotten to those songs yet?
I feel like the music, at least that I've written, does kind of capture where I'm at in life. I think I have a lot more to offer, and I think when I am 20 years from now, 40 years old, I may not have the same problems that I do now, but I think they're still going to resonate.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'll add a little bit to that. I'd have a counterpoint, actually. I'm going to argue with you. Red Hot Chili Peppers put out 3 albums before they released Under the Bridge. They were in their 20s, like, just working their asses off. Like, they were amazing live. Like, I've seen videos from them, like, back in the 80s whenever they were putting out, like, Mother's Milk, Freaky Styley, the Uplift Mofo Party Plan, which is still my favorite album name ever. Like, they had this energy, but they could never capture it. Whenever they got to Blood Sugar Sex Magic, their 4th album, they wrote Under the Bridge, and that just took them for wherever. So I really don't think it's the where you're at. I think it's where you're at mixed with where everybody else is at, and if those 2 points connect. And I'm hoping that, like, our music right now, like I said, is connecting with that generation that feels like nobody gives a shit anymore. And, like, people are starting to be like, hey, I kind of want to give a shit. The earth is kind of not doing very good right now. Let's all collectively try together. And that's what I feel like we're connecting with the people that see our shows.
Well, one thing I want to add is just, like, I mean, I haven't had too much in, like, writing the lyrics, but as far as, like, music and, like, listening to, like, Marissa's lyrics, really getting to listen to them this weekend at Dark Pines, you can really tell they're about something, like she'll tell you what the songs are about if you ask. Like, it's just a lot of times at shows she tells people before we sing them, so they're definitely, like, personal songs about where she's, like, stuff she's dealing with. But I feel like just as she continues, like, as the band, like Dave and I as well, continue, like, writing songs and just evolving as, like, musicians and people in general, and we'll just be able to kind of keep pumping them out. They'll be badass.
So I appreciate the counterpoint to what I was talking about with and using the Peppers as an example. But let's go right back to that Peppers example. Mm-hmm. Which tracks from The Getaway, the Peppers' newest album from last year, really speak to you then? Which one of those do you say, yeah, that's rivaling anything they did on Freaky Styley or Mother's Milk? I mean, these are albums that I grew up with, so yeah. I know these ones. I know that they, had a funk soul, and they had George Clinton, producing, and Sly Stone was around for those things.
Yeah.
But those albums defined their sound, and yes, they broke out. Actually, they broke out a couple of times, but 91 really solidified them as a worldwide act.
Yeah.
What from 2016 compares to that as far as impact? Is there an Under the Bridge from that album?
There's a couple songs that I'm I sort of like, but to be honest with you, ever since John Frusciante left, they haven't been the same Chili Peppers to me. But Dark Necessities, I'd say, was probably my favorite one off of that. It has that amazing bass line, and I don't know. It's a great song in general to me. It just keeps reminding me that Flea is, like, my favorite bassist of all time.
Yeah, Flea is fantastic. Let's not make the whole show about the Chili Peppers, but let's talk a little bit more about that. So John Frusciante inspires you and connects with you. When I listen to the Peppers, what I hear is Flea playing lead and John playing, like, bass lines with the guitar, and just kind of like ding, 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 but they've just got they've switched their instruments almost in terms of their job. What's Frusciante's role then that makes him so powerful? If a lot of the stuff he plays, and I'm not trying to say it's simple, but if he's holding down the groove from the lead guitar position.
It's really like, to be honest with you, they're kind of a huge influence to me. Like me and Mar, like that's the sort of dynamic I feel with her as well. Like it's just really a give and take. When there's only two musicians, you have to fill out the spaces that the other one doesn't. And it, like, sometimes there's parts in this album that Mar plays like a lead part. Like for instance, there's a song called Animosity where she's holding, like, it's just me playing two chords and she's doing this like sick bass line over it. And then there's parts where she's holding down and I'm like trying to fill out that extra space. So it's really, to me, just where the song leads you rather than like what the actual musician needs to do at that like time, you know. John Frusciante and Flea just had that really great chemistry where they knew exactly where to fill in the space for the other person.
I wanted to take a second out of the show and talk to you guys about our sponsor, WeFixYourScript.com. What I love about these guys is they're encouraging you, just like John, Mark, and I, to create something. If you think screenwriting is your thing, or if you've got a script that you're kind of stuck on, this is what you do. You don't got to buy anything. Just give these guys a call. Schedule a 15-minute consultation for free. It's WeFixYourScript.com. I highly encourage you guys to support these guys. Reach out to us. Reach out to them. Reach out to WeFixYourScript.com.
We had recently on the show, I don't know if you guys know who Nathan East or J.R. Robinson are. They're monsters, and they're rhythm section guys, and they're basically, they call it, they're their road wives. You know, like J.R. plays the drums, and he's probably the most recorded drummer in history. Yeah. And Nathan East is his bass partner, and those guys are playing behind Phil Collins, or they're playing for the Queen of England. Exactly. Yeah. So that drum opening from oh man, forget that part. I can't think of the
song. Yeah, In the Air Tonight.
You know what? He probably has played that. There was a song that he did for Michael Jackson on Off the Wall, and I can't think of which one it is.
Oh, sorry.
I won't think of it.
Phil Collins.
Yeah, no, but they played for Phil Collins. They back up bands or guys like Eric Clapton.
Dude, that's awesome.
Chick Corea. Yeah, these guys are the rhythm section. And what they look at their job as doing is, they build look, Nate can play any note, any chord you want, and sit back in that groove and do things with those low notes that drive the songs emotionally, that kind of thing. But you guys are talking about a different dynamic where you're both filling kind of that role, but also taking the song in a different direction. So you guys are both foundational, you and Mar, but you're also both sort of working on, let's pull the song dynamically this way. Talk to me a little bit about how you guys exchange that. Is that something you groove out in the studio when you're trying to write, or how do you determine that tug of war between right now I'm going to hold down this groove and right now you're going to go take and put the texture in?
I'll go ahead. Well, our songwriting style is very odd in that I'll come up with something like a chorus with like a couple other bass parts and whatnot, and I'll bring it to Dave, and it's just basically a bare bones outline, and then Dave will come in, fill everything out, really put the muscle in it, and then Andrew just kind of sticks his
I hit a few
in there and just brings it all together. It's kind of a 3-step process, if that makes sense.
Hey everybody, I wanted to take a couple seconds of your time out of the show real quick to mention my other podcast, Popping the Bubble, where we demystify what goes on in the tech world. We're talking to founders, innovators, influencers, venture capitalists. It's fascinating stuff, and I highly encourage you to go listen to it and really just ask you as a friend. Go check out Popping the Bubble, POPPINGTHEBUBBL. Hey, thanks everybody.
It does make sense. How did you find that process?
A lot of trial and error. Sometimes, there was a time we were trying to get songs, and like if I kind of either I have a bunch of songs or I don't, I kind of go in like a songwriting wave. And usually between that, Dave will bring something up, and then like like, he'll have these cool guitar lines with the song itself, because, like, when he goes to structure it, doesn't match with the way that I would go to structure it. And, like, same way, too. Like, I try not to finish a song all the way through without bringing it to Dave. Because the way you get the BullMoose sound is just, like, everybody has their piece of the puzzle, and it's not the same sound without everybody putting their hands in the right place.
Nice.
Truth.
And then, and as you're trying to come up with songs and you're writing and you're doing these things, are you thinking in terms of an album, or are you just trying to say, let's just write songs, we'll find out which ones are the best and they'll make the cut? What's the thought process? I mean, you're spending a lot of money making an album.
The past few months have really just been me sitting down and writing a song for an album. But before, I guess we knew we were going to the recording studio, it was just kind of, hey, this sounds cool. We need more songs on a set. Let's do it.
So it's just more of a necessity to fill out a set and get some songs that really get the crowd moving. Now, the last time we talked, you talked about how you had one really great song that got the crowd moving. How many of those songs have you accumulated now in the past? A little more than a year since we last talked.
I would like to think that this whole album is just everything is a catchy song. Like, that was what I set out to do, because I wanted to make sure that we had, all of our cards on the table when we went to do this thing.
This album is awesome. A lot of fun.
Not at the moment, no.
So Brenna gave me this question earlier via text, so I'm going to ask it. She asked me to ask you, what makes a show fun or good versus a show that's disappointing?
Well, we like when people come.
Yeah, people coming. That's definitely a number one, especially in Augusta, because it's hard to get people to come downtown. They all think they're going to get stabbed or robbed or something.
Yeah, but it's worth it. You get to see
I mean, you're only going to get stabbed if you're going down.
Minor flesh wound.
If you're trying to if you're going out there to get robbed, you're going to get robbed. But, like, just don't be an idiot. It's like just like
if you're going out there to get robbed. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go downtown and get robbed tonight. I'm feeling up for a little bit.
It's getting weather to get robbed.
Anyway, having a good crowd of people. When I put on a show, typically I try to walk around and make sure everybody is happy. Not that I can necessarily change it if they're unhappy, but being as personal as possible. Thanking everybody for coming out. And just creating as much of a positive and good vibe as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of feel really we try to give as much energy as we can on stage to get everybody as hyped as we are, because I mean, we obviously like playing music, and if you're going to come to a show, we want you to enjoy it. We don't want to just show up, play our set and pack up and leave. We want people to have an experience. We want them to be long-term fans, not just come to that one show. So if we can get the audience to be as energetic as we are, then that really is what makes the show for me, at least.
Yes, I agree.
As you guys are exploding regionally, what's the outer limits of where you guys are able to play at? Are you guys reaching Atlanta? Are you guys reaching Charleston? For those that don't know, BullMoose works out of Augusta, Georgia. So you guys are southeast. I should say you guys are northeast Georgia. What's your sphere of influence, would you say?
As I guess as far as we can get to gigs, unless it's more than I'd say maybe a 6-hour drive, we probably couldn't easily do it. But we play in Atlanta every other month.
Play.
we actually have a show at the Masquerade July 10th, which is the first time we've actually been able to get in there. But,
that's for those of you that don't know. That's a place in Atlanta.
And
it's a nice venue. Yeah. It's got a mall
nice
and stuff, and you get to go eat there, and it's convenient. Be cool.
Get to have fun, maybe get robbed if you're feeling up to it.
Yeah, it's the wedding, right?
If you go there to get robbed.
Yeah, if you go to get robbed.
I have not been robbed.
They don't disappoint.
Just go to the mall.
I'm going to go to the concert. I'm going to smoke some weed. I want to try to get robbed. Do the whole experience.
That's what makes a solid night.
If I was to say to you, you're going to play in this venue, locally for you guys, the James Brown Center is probably the biggest thing locally.
Dude, maybe, yeah, that would be amaze balls.
So let's make it slightly bigger than that. Let's say you're going to play that venue in, let's say in Atlanta. You're going to go and you're going to not necessarily play. Sure, something like that size. What's going to happen when you get that call? Even if you're opening for somebody, you're going to open for New Kids on the Block when they come around town or something like that.
Hey, dude, Donnie Wahlberg.
They pick. Donnie, yes.
My favorite Wahlberg.
Is that even on your radar? Can you even consider that?
Oh,
is
yeah.
that just too
Oh,
crazy?
yeah. I wake up every day just expecting that phone call, and, I'm waiting. I'm on
Really?
that.
Like, I think right now, we have the need to, like, we just all want to just get out and play as much music as we can, regardless of the size of the venue. And I really feel like whenever we get on stage, like, it doesn't matter who we're playing for. Like, we're gonna do our best and give it our all. And I think we could do that regardless of how many people are in the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
So we're just waiting on it. If Donnie Wahlberg, if you're listening to this right now and you want to play a nice...
What's up, Donnie?
First of all, I love your work in the Stephen King film Dreamcatcher and NYPD Blue.
Now, what about like Jordan or Joey or Johnny or Danny?
Are these the Ramones?
No, that's the rest of the New Kids.
I'm sorry. I was just a fan of. Fan of Donnie, personally.
So you were the dude in the Donnie section with the Donnie sign. Donnie, I love you.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay, all right. So you like the kind of the tough guy image one. I like it. Okay, good. Which guy was your guy in NSYNC?
That's a tie between Lance Bass and Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake because of the ramen hairdo, and Lance Bass because those eyes they do not lie.
They do not lie. And what about your Backstreet Boy? Which one was yours?
I wasn't a fan of the Backstreet Boys, to be honest.
I didn't know one, yeah.
I was a 98 Degrees kind of fella as well.
I see. What about O-Town? O-Town? No?
Pushing my boundaries a little bit.
Past your limit of comfort. That's fantastic. Okay, so let me see if I can wrap this up here for you guys. So BullMoose is in the studio recording an album that's going to be called...
Peace, Love, and Apathy.
Yeah.
Peace, Love, and Apathy. And that's the title track then that you guys are working on now.
That's
a song that's...
Yeah, we still have to have it like mixed and mastered, but we're done recording it.
Yeah, we finished up recording Sunday night, and we got everything and got it out the studio yesterday.
And then what label is the album going to be released on?
Most likely Soul Records of Augusta.
Most likely Soul Records of Augusta. And then where are we going to be able to buy that?
At Walmart, actually.
At a Taco Bell near you.
Walmart's regionally?
Yeah. Well, the deal at least that is supposed to be going on with Soul Records is they're selling at least 10 of our albums in every Walmart in America.
So yeah, that's hopefully going to be the how everything works out. So yeah, hopefully in a Walmart near you and a Taco Bell.
All right.
And online, definitely online, probably iTunes, Bandcamp,
Spotify.
Yeah, all the black.
And is there an actual Taco Bell deal in place or no?
I really wish.
We just love Taco Bell.
We really do.
We have Del Taco out here in Southern California, and it competes, but only regionally. So, okay, so you guys are going to have your album in Walmart stores, obviously on Spotify, obviously iTunes, those kind of places. BullMoose.com as well, or what's the website called?
We don't have an official website, but if you just search BullMoose 411, all of our pages come up. There's actually like a video game company named BullMoose in Maine, and that's why I had to throw the 411 in there, because I was getting messages from people complaining about their store, asking for PS4 camo controllers and
like the first entire year of our existence, we just any message we got to the page was like, "Hey man, my controller that I bought from you guys isn't working."
I appreciate you guys being on the show with us again. We always want to hear what's going on. Brenna, do you have any questions before we close out?
Sure. Before we started the show, Marissa was talking about like the 2 albums that you guys have and how you kind of progressed during those like 2 years, and how she was saying that she like since the first album, she's actually learned how to sing.
Yeah.
Is there like any other like different ways that you
Marissa
progressed or
can
changed
sing
at
so
all?
well.
Wait, Marissa can sing?
Crazy.
So well.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Really, and to be honest with you, Andrew was probably the biggest factor in that. Like before that, we
That's sweet
started
of
off.
you, Dave.
We tell you all the time, you
Yeah,
asshole.
we tell you like every other show that
like,
I'm glad you're on board.
You guys smother me.
'Cause we
Our
love you,
first-
you're fucking magic.
Like whenever we started this band, it was not me actually. It was Marissa and our original drummer Muka Vogel. They really helped like just make the foundation of it, and then we went through like sort of metal phase with our last drummer Taman. We really didn't make any sort of waves. We kind of just kept playing shows during that time. But I will say, like, honestly, ever since Andrew joined the band, like, it's just added a whole new dynamic. And like, really that me and Mar have kind of just progressed on our instruments a little bit, but Andrew's like filled out the cracks that we just didn't have filled at that time.
Dude, honestly, it has just been so much fun playing with the band. Like, what has it been? What has it been, like 3 months? Or I don't know how long it's been, huh?
It
Yeah,
has
just
been
about.
long enough.
Just about that, yeah.
It's just
I mean-
like, I think it was end of February whenever we got together.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, like, all the shows, like, I play in, like, another band, and, like, the energy it's there in the other band, but, like, in BullMoose, like, it keeps my ass in shape. Like, I'm, like, panting at the end of sets. Like, it's so fun. It's so, like, me in middle school, like, just thrashing punk rock and just having so much fun.
Like, the songs are already fast, but it's punk music, so we get really excited, and we play it even faster live. And Andrew's like, I don't know how you keep your right hand even sort of on
Dude,
beat. Like, I don't know how it just doesn't catch on fire mid-show.
Dude, as long as I avoid the bottom of pools, man, I'll be straight. Keep those.
That's okay. So we played a show for Marissa's boyfriend, his grad party, and Andrew
Nolan.
and Marissa decided
Nolan?
to. Hey Nolan, nice shout out. But Andrew decided to take a dive and forgot that the pool was a little bit shallower than he thought.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah, we had
I
Glad you're still walking.
torpedoed into the bottom, man. It was awesome.
Wow.
But he kept going. I will say that. Didn't miss a beat. He's a
Well,
trooper.
I stopped when I hit the bottom, then I kept going.
Yeah. Just we had the drum set up at the bottom of the pool so we could just get directly into the drum tone.
Right, so it's like a fancy show kind of thing.
Music video idea.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's keep you walking and working, because diving into shallow pools, that's a great way to end the summer.
We're gonna leave, yeah.
Yeah. So fantastic hearing about the album. For sure, everybody go out and support a young emerging band that's absolutely exploding in Georgia, starting to creep into the Carolinas and Alabamas and those kind of things. I'm hoping that you guys are doing an even bigger tour this summer, getting further out. What's after the album? Is there anything on the horizon that we're looking at doing, or is the album still kind of taking all of your attention?
Well, with Soul Records, we are hopefully going to be able to tour around, I guess, maybe the East Coast or maybe all of the coast, for all I know, depending on how much we have on us. But we should be able to tour towards mid to end July.
Oh yeah.
We've been looking. There's several different artists that we've like sort of kept our eye on that we're hopefully looking to hop on with, and so yeah, we'll definitely be touring soon.
That's lit, man.
You're lit, man.
Speaking of lit, we may have AJ Popoff on the show soon too. If we do have him, what kind of question would you have for AJ if he was sitting there in front of you?
I'll let Mar handle that.
I'll let Andrew handle that.
I'd ask him what he likes to eat for lunch. Just like regularly.
What's your perfect summer day?
Yeah.
Do you guys know who AJ from Lit is?
No.
That song.
Oh wait, you said Lit? You said Lit, my almost enemy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So
Oh my god. I'm
let
sorry.
me ask the question again.
Yeah.
When we have AJ Popoff from Lit on the show,
Love that guy.
what question should I ask him? From an emerging band to an established guy who's for sure got one song that makes the crowd go bonkers, what would you want to ask AJ?
I would like to ask him what it feels like after your dreams come true. Like you just get used to it, or like you just keep living that, oh my god, I'm here, I made it type feeling.
I kind of still want to know what his perfect summer day is like, but
Oh my god.
I would tell him that I saw, well, actually, now this is kind of relevant. I saw a really good band in Atlanta play a cover of My Own Worst Enemy by Lit at this, like, frat fundraiser we played at one time, and it was lit, man.
hey,
Really.
I got that.
My story just end abruptly, and I was like, okay.
All right, everybody. Make sure you go check out at BullMoose411 on all social media. Check out the new album when it comes out. Peace, Love, and Apathy.
Yeah.
Marissa and the fellas are going to be touring all summer long, all year long on this album on the strength of their partnership with Soul Records out of Augusta, Georgia. Thanks again for being on the Break It Down show. You guys know whenever you want, you come on. If you happen to get it together and get out to California, please let us know in advance so we can help support you guys, because we want to do that.
Oh, sure.
Anything you want to say before we check off?
Thank you
What's
so
your
much
perfect
for
summer
having
day
us
like?
on, yeah.
My perfect summer day, nice and easy. Couple milkshakes, couple of beers, some beach, hanging out. Probably high-fiving Brenna because we get along well. We tend to like each other.
Yeah, that's about it. That's all I had.
Yep. Not trying too hard to try too hard.
Hey, man.
All right. Thank you guys very much.
Awesome.
Thank you for having us on.
Yeah, thanks for
You
having
guys have a good day.